Peyton Pritchard, for example, is actually a really awesome example of that. And I think that's one thing that I really messed up with my own training back in the day, is because I grew up, as did you, like it was John Wall, Austin Rivers, like hoop mixtape, ball is life culture. And you just see people like we were just talking about with your welcome to the I'm not going to the NBA moment.
Yeah.
I'm playing no NBA games moment.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
What's up, y'all? It's Carter Rob.
Let's take forward.
Brian McGill.
And we have another illustrious guest and podcast for you today. So if you're choosing today's podcast, you're choosing sports, you're choosing health, you're choosing training, and most importantly, you're choosing a good time.
Facts. Before we get into the interview, though, Rob, let's play no games.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to break down what it is for Brian real quick?
So pretty much Play No Games is a game that's a bit of an icebreaker where you just say whatever on your mind. So if you're like, man, Shannon Sharp, you know, he's got great takes. I want to play no games about that.
Said no one ever. But
Wait, that was super unclear by that reference. Is this something I do believe?
I mean, it could just be something that's high about your week, low about your week, or just any random thought you might have.
Exactly.
Like, all right, you know, it's how I'm feeling. Like, for example, today, what do I play no games about? I play no games about the fact that my team is going to bounce back. You know, people giving me shit about the Celtics. We've had to offload a lot of contracts this offseason, but I think we're in prime position. I see the vision that Brad has. So, Jaylen Brown, I dare you. I triple dog dare you to have an ankle sprain this year. We're going to sit your ass down all year. Tank for AJ. We're going to slide AJ to the 3. Jason's going to be playing the 4. And we're going to be right back in prime position.
You see what I got to deal with?
I'm not going to hit on the optimism. You never know. At this point,
I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibilities with how we move.
I'm not going to go as far as to say that I see Brad's vision right now. I don't think it's super unclear to me. But I will say, if I'm a Celtics fan, I'm going to trust in it blindly, 100%.
Yeah.
His record speaks for itself, like the moves he's made. If I'm a Celtics fan, I'm not worried at all.
No, I can't
No
be.
matter even what happens next year, like you guys are going to be set up solid.
Yeah.
And you're going to have Peyton Pritchard there for an extended period of time because he's on a great deal for them at this point. So
yes, the fuck he is. I'm so glad we locked that in early because that would have costed us a whole lot more now. No disrespect, Pete, but
well, I want to play no games about this thing. I really want to say this. I don't want to go to hell, but literally, there's this guy on Instagram, and
where are you going with this?
Just stay with me.
No.
Stay with me. And like he does like prank phone calls, and like his like ad-lib is put a girl on. And I've been watching that nonstop because he'll call like KFC, Walmart, GameStop, and like people he'll be like, oh, I'm like SpongeBob from the Krusty Krab, or like your shipment is running late, and then he'd be like, you know what you should do? And then these people are really frustrated, and he'll always say, just put a girl on. And I've been listening to that all day.
I've got a documentary for you to watch later that you might be really into.
Yeah.
It made me too creepy. It was too creepy for me to like really watch it, even, to be honest. But it's about a prank phone call, and he talks him into doing some insane stuff that you wouldn't believe.
Your algorithm's really crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Your algorithm's based on what you engage with and watch.
First and foremost,
Any algorithms he's responsible for.
Yeah, for sure.
The weird shit that's popping up.
Hey,
on your
Did you do the prank phone call trend on TikTok?
No, but that.
All right, could you not see him doing that shit?
First and foremost, I was literally at the end of like, oh, I'm doom scrolling. So this guy's like, oh, trying to talk. He's talking to him, and like he's trying to like tell him like, oh, your food shipment's gonna be late. And at the end of it, like he's like, put a girl on, and he's like, you just wasted my time. And these people are very upset, like very invigorated. And it's like, for me, I feel bad because I'm like, I should be laughing at their pain because they're really trying to do their jobs.
Yeah.
So
it's funny. I believe it's a German word called Schadenfreude. And what Schadenfreude means is taking pleasure in seeing others struggle or their pain. So they have a whole word for that feeling that sometimes humans experience.
How
I'm
do you
sure
s-
all of us have at different times to different
How do you
levels.
spell that?
Schadenfreude. I'm gonna probably mess this up, but like it would be Schaden DENFRU. It's called the umlaut. It's like a U, two little dots on top of it. And a couple more letters at the end.
I
But
resonate with
that'll
that a
get you
lot.
off to the right
Yeah.
start. You can find it from there.
All I'm saying is, if y'all ever laughed at someone falling,
Yeah,
That's
it's
me.
Schadenfreude.
Okay, yeah. I was like,
There's
okay.
different levels too, of course.
so that's why I preference. I don't want to go to hell. So
Yours is starting to head the.
See,
to the
I
right
ain't gonna lie. I
spectrum.
thought it was gonna be something way worse. Like I saw this dude on Instagram. I ain't gonna lie. There was a shorty I shot my shot at back in high school. They married now, and I kind of want to go slide on him, but I'm glad.
no, why would I do that?
I mean,
You see what? Now that you get,
well, you said go to hell, so I'm like, it's only
I
gonna
don't
be
know you well enough to know that that's out of your character or something you might not do.
fair
you know
enough.
what I mean?
Fair enough. Oh, you could never put something past someone.
You don't strike me as that type though. That's not the impression I'm getting.
Thank you.
They say every shrink is one bad day away from snapping.
I
actually don't disagree with that.
a good thing you're exposed to mental health care on a regular basis. I am playing no games today. This might be a little bit corny for some people, but I truly believe it in my heart. It's the genesis of the nonprofit I was telling you about, but just service to others and doing good stuff for other people, man. Even if you don't want to look at it from like a holistic like golden rule perspective, just try doing something nice for someone and seeing how good you selfishly feel. Like it makes us as humans feel really, really good to perform acts of service for other people, and that would be my challenge to you, man. Do something for someone else and see how it makes you feel.
My PR agent to clean my image. Meaning, how do you just really, really quick, because I used to do that a lot more, but I actually like smushed that down. I used to like get people's like groceries that were behind me, things of that manner. How do you feel about people who like broadcast, like they do stuff like that? Do you get that same?
I think we can all kind of pick up on energy and perceive intent at times, which is also a dangerous game because you always are running the risk of maybe doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Like on the one hand, that someone could see that and it could inspire them to treat someone else great and do something else, or they could just be doing it for clout or to broadcast a fake kind of character that they're cosplaying. And so you're gonna get criticized if you do. You're gonna get criticized if you don't. Life is gray area, in my opinion, and the nuances where truth lies, I think.
Oh, he answered that better than me 2 years ago.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I will say to that point, people are fine with folks broadcasting random bullshit trends on TikTok that will then duplicate and remix or whatever and stitch, and you'll see like 2,000 videos following this trend. But if I were to post, if I want to start a challenge about giving food to the homeless, now I'm doing something like off-putting, like
What he said is definitely, for me, it's the energy.
But there is some gray area with there though.
It's the energy. It's like where it comes from. But also at the same time, I've always thought about it should inspire someone else. But like that conversation I had with that person like 2-3 years ago, maybe kind of like give me some pushback, and I was like, okay, cool, I can kind of see where you're coming from. But that's
And at the end of the day, if your heart's in the right place, then I would say fuck it, to be honest, and just go for it. You know what I mean? Because I'm encountering that a lot, like in the nonprofit space. Like we need money to do a lot of the stuff that we want to do, and so I'm in a position now where I'm having to go to people and explain like the mission, what we're trying to do, our strategy to do it, the plan, our benchmarks, our timeline, and ask for, to be frank, like as much money as we can get out of it to kind of fulfill that mission. And so that's very difficult for me, like just naturally. That doesn't come easy to me, my personality, and it's for the right reasons though. And so I'm kind of challenging myself to just put all kind of ego and just uncomfortableness that's a part of that aside, because I am sincerely, like I know in my heart, which I'm the only person I have to look in the mirror at the end of the day, that I'm doing it for the right reasons, So it's almost kind of selfish if you hold yourself back to a degree, worrying about what other people think. You know what I mean? Like what? Not to be too corny about it, like what great change, positive stuff in the world ever happens if people are too worried about what others are saying? You know what I mean? Like,
fair.
That's fair.
Yeah. But since we got you here though, thank you for sitting down with us. Obviously you do a lot of stuff in the training realm, but I want to ask, just to take it back some, when did you first start playing basketball?
So I first started playing basketball in my neighborhood in Beaverton, Oregon. I used to live behind Southridge High School. I had the first probably friend I ever made was like shooting on his little hoop with a mini ball in the driveway, and like I just went and made friends. So he kind of like put me on to basketball. Then we had another friend that moved in named Ryan, and we would just start playing in the driveway all the time, like crunch and stuff like that. And Ryan is a shit talker, and so that's really what introduced me to kind of just the competitive atmosphere. Like when you get so mad, like you have like little gut checks, back in the day when you really get mad at your friends, you're like, all right, like I'm really gonna win this shit, like and you see red. So I kind of just fell in love with that aspect of it, and then kept playing. I went to a private school in middle school up until high school, and so it was kind of centrally located. It was actually off Coos Street in Northeast. And so I had friends from kind of all over different like pockets of little suburbs around Portland and like Southeast Portland, even out in like St. John's and stuff. And so I just continued to play basketball. I moved to Milwaukee in like 6th grade, and then actually your producer like knows a ton of mutual people that I used to play basketball with and stuff in middle school. Then I went to Clackamas High School. We just moved right down the road. I was solid by the end of high school. Like I was first team All State in 6A in Oregon. I led 6A in scoring. Andrew Andrews will challenge that and be like, "No, you didn't." But then I remind him that Benson was 5A that year, and I specifically said it's 6A. I played at a Division II school called the University of Alaska Anchorage in obviously Alaska. I made about 1,100 euros a month plus a yellow smart car with a decal that I shared with a 6'9" guy named Josh Smith that went to Clemson for 1 year, like in Berlin, Germany, playing professionally. Technically, like we were getting a check to play. And then came back home, worked in physical therapy, just like an aide for a little bit. Really kind of was finding what I wanted to do. I always kind of knew I wanted to do this, but the timing kind of hit. Like around COVID is when I started doing it full time. I was doing it part time and like coaching high school basketball before that. And then when COVID happened, it kind of just took off because so many people were right around the area. I'm not a COVID denier or anything like that, but there were many people who are like depending on paychecks and scholarships and stuff that needed to keep training to some degree, trying to stay as safe as possible and all that. But yeah, that's kind of when I got introduced to a lot of the people that probably connected us, which is through a lot of the Northeast Portland basketball community.
Yep.
And yeah, kind of just started doing it full time from there. And I've had a lot of really positive experiences so far. I love my job. I love kind of the life that I'm able to intentionally design and doing it my way a little bit. But yeah, man, like it's probably 8 or 9 years old, I think.
Or. So where along that journey did you realize, okay, we all have to have this reality at some point. The likelihood of me
I'll tell you, this is
making the NBA.
This is why I was excited to talk to you guys. This is why I was excited to talk to you guys. I have the memory vividly in my head. And I'm just going to be honest because it's kind of funny. I was in 6th grade probably.
Same.
Oh, man, I'm going to blank on this guy's name. He went to Roosevelt High School. He was cold. He was
Larry Richards?
Yes.
Yep.
He had a... Yep.
Yeah.
Not at the time, though. Not at the time. It was a 3-on-3 tournament in, like... Tualatin, Oregon, randomly. I don't. It was maybe a one-off.
Okay.
Larry Richards was there.
Yeah.
And I'm 2011. I don't know what year he is.
He was 10.
No way, really?
Yeah, he was 10. He was same year as Jones.
That makes sense how I ended up playing against him then. It was only 1 year. But he cooked me so bad that I didn't even know what was going on. And then like I literally was sitting on the curb in the parking lot, like with the hoops over there, and I was just like, I don't really know. Like about to cry, like, look what just fucking happened, bro. But that was the moment, for sure. For sure. And then I quickly regrouped and I was like, all right, cool. I believe in myself. I can go play in Europe and make money. And then I immediately had another goal of turning professional, like playing professional.
You did that twice.
You know what? Because I put like a really high level of respect. Like Mike James and Andrew Andrews and Peyton Pritchard play professionally, and what I did in my mind is not comparable to them. Not out of a lack of self-confidence, but just in a reality of like the level of competition.
Never heard it that way.
Maybe it's a little bit of like self-deprecation, but I don't like to call myself a pro because like the pros that I do have the opportunity to work with I'm not at that level. I wasn't at that level. I don't know. It's semantics, but I feel more comfortable that way.
That goes into one of the questions I have for you in the back end of the interview. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold me to. I got a response to that a little bit later.
What was your moment?
First and foremost, I can go lead right
Because
now.
I got mine.
I can look here. I'm the Patrick Beverly. You go to the streets right now, you whisper to stop her. I'm like a genie.
That was the funniest game I've ever been to. Is when I was at the game when Patrick Beverly had the camera that he showed to the ref.
That's funny as shit.
I'll switch it up. I won't go basketball. I'll go tennis. I caught on to tennis really late, and this is when I see what you're doing over there.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm about to embarrass my damn self with this last one. So,
but it was like my senior year because I closed a big gap, and I don't know if you guys remember this guy's name. R.I.P. to him. His name was Alex Ravello. I played him.
Sound so familiar.
You probably like he was, he passed away when we were at U of O, but I played him. And he played me when I first played tennis. And my goal was like, I'm going to finally beat him. Because, you know, for me, I don't like to lose.
What age did you start playing tennis?
Like freshman year. Okay. Freshman year. And let's just say I joined my English teacher's traveling team. We did a lot of different things. And, like, my goal was to, like, actually, like, finally, like, beat this guy. And when I finally got to senior year, 3 years of intense training, I got the very first game off him in the set. And I was so pumped. And then from there, he was like, Robert, you've gotten so much better. I can see the difference. Then it was like the next level. I was like, you son of a bitch. And then he 6'1", 6'0" me. And then I was still like really adamant. I went to U of O and I took the tournament to walk onto the team, and I got dusted by another kid, and they was like, you could be the equipment manager. And I was like,
wait, they had y'all getting in a single elimination tournament to walk onto the team?
yes.
That's some real cutthroat shit. Like, bro, imagine somebody playing ones for like a 10-day contract.
Though, to be honest. Like, all right, let's do it.
But, like, I think for me, that was, like, humbling thing because, you know, for me, I really enjoyed tennis. I really wish I would have known, like, I had passion for it because I caught up really quick. And I think I maybe peaked at maybe, like, a 6.1 player, and that's like being like very generous, but also at the same time I had to come to the realization like if you really going pro, you got to do it like 4 or 5, like way younger. And like for me, because I just have a pretty adamant personality, like if I say I want to do this, I'm going to do it, so it's hard for me to like switch. But those were my two humbling moments: Alex Ravello beating me, and then that tournament when I got washed and they were like, you can be the equipment manager.
Society's holding you down right there. Like I'm a firm believer that the timeline of athletic development, like the timeline of potential that we project onto athletes. I'm thinking of basketball in particular. Yeah. But I think it's completely wrong. And like we know from literature on mental health development, we know on like our physical development, those things don't follow a linear timeline. There's many different variables that affect it. Like if you have bullshit nutrition while you're growing up and you don't start really getting high quality food and like a stress-free environment to sleep until you're like 17, 18, 19, then we know you're going to be a super late bloomer physically, and vice versa. There's a lot of variables out there, and maybe the tennis world just didn't really see you correctly. Like how many basketball players have they missed that the NBA ended up being wrong about?
You know, you put the battery pack in me. Meaning, Jefferson, I love you. I want you to know, I would have made that team if you gave me an opportunity. I know we had the Terrences. I know we did. But
all right.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I will say this. I think his name is Pat Strickland, right? He was the coach.
Pat.
Yeah. Wait a second. Wait. That loss turned me to tennis. Y'all see me play.
If you listen, the years you were there, I'm not like.
I understand.
Fuck both of them. The guards.
RJ, that is me. But think of like a younger Robert.
Everybody gotta have a dream. I hear you.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. See, thank you so much for letting me know.
See,
I could have been anything.
I probably got the most embarrassing story of the three of us. You remember the Harrison twins that used to play in Kentucky? So it's them two, Julius Randle, and it was like one other guy that ended up playing high level pro college ball. I can't remember his name.
There was a lot from Texas.
They were all playing on the Houston Legends, and I was like, we had to be. Because we're all the same age. We had to be like maybe in 7th grade. We were playing the President's Day tournament at the Hoop. They both came down. And they've been roughly Julius got taller. I mean, he was taller, but those two have been roughly about the same height since we were about 12, 13. Remember that one play, Jason Terry, when he was playing with the Celtics and he got caught on that fast break and LeBron dunked on him?
Norris
Yeah.
Cole.
Yeah. So that was basically me in that situation, and Julius punched on me.
That's a violent punch too.
Yeah.
Like, he is angry at the rim. Like, you know what I mean? He's it's a.
And I'm all of like maybe 5'2" at the time,
Oh.
110 pounds.
It was like similar situation. Like, did you? Jason Terry jumped, I believe.
No,
Or did
yeah.
you try to take a charge?
Honestly, it was a 3-on-1 break, so I'm just literally just trying to find the
You don't know
ball
what's going on.
at
You're
that
just
point, and
A
then
mouse in a maze.
the
dude.
sun
Just
went out. the sun
cover up like a turtle.
the sun went away.
No wonder you don't tell this story often.
Man, no, that's a.
I mean, shit.
Some of those AAU tournaments, like, I'm actually probably thankful to that experience that I had at a younger age. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because we had a rough one too. Like, I think I was 15U at the Adidas Super 64 in Vegas, and just getting ran out of the gym. Houston Hoops got us badly. There was a team called the Southern Kings. I don't even think they exist anymore, but I got ripped for like 4 times, like the ball stolen from me like 4 times before I even got to half court for the first time in my life. I did not know what was going on.
That's like the most embarrassing thing as a guard, like getting ripped off the dribble. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally embarrassing. Like, you feel like a joke almost. Like, I think it's good for your character though at the end of the day, and obviously your development. Like, we need those reality checks
for sure. Just don't bring up the ball, Magic Johnson and shit. Like,
you can't turn your back to the defender.
Yeah.
Figure it out the hard way.
Yeah, for sure.
You got one more?
No, you go ahead.
I think kind of to push the interview along a little bit when it comes to, and I can actually mix in that question I wanted to ask you where when you're like pro, where it's kind of like, but you train pro athletes, meaning you have a voice in the ear, well, where they're listening to you, where like I do understand, like, you know, greats want to train with other greats, but you know, they have other people that have careers as you. So how do you find your voice when you are training people who have gone farther in your career and, you know, trying to push them to their limits? Like
really just finding from like speaking from a place of like authority or confidence.
Oh, just in general, how do you connect with them?
Man, yeah, it does sound corny, man, but like people don't care what you know until they know how much you care. Like, and that is a real thing. There's a reason that it's a cliche. I think I come in unassuming. I tell everyone straight up, like, hey, this is what I see. This is what I would do. This is why I would do it. If I feel like at any point I'm like made the wrong decision with our programming or like the way that we want to attack something, I'll let you know. And like with a lot of those guys, like I have made what I would consider to be a mistake or been like, hey, I think we can do this differently or better. And so like I'm super upfront and honest about that. Like, and they all know that. Like, if I fuck up, I'll let you know. And beyond that, I think I can kind of speak the language of basketball as a player. You know, I'm very fluent in that. Like, I'm a high school coach. I can do skills training stuff around basketball camps. Like, I very much am in basketball. But when you get to, like, that level of player, I don't think I put enough time in on the basketball skill side. Like, I'm not watching tape. I'm not studying the game with that lens. And so, like, it's out of almost just a place of respect that, like, I'm not going to try to be your skills coach because I don't feel like I've put in enough time to be worthy of having that voice. But I have gone to school for the exercise science stuff. My entire like childhood, high school experience was like, how athletic can I get for basketball? How good can I make myself? That's kind of been the ethos of my life. And I think I do a good job of articulating that, and I make no assumptions. I don't like overstep my boundary. When you talk about like I'm in their ear telling them things, like I'm not telling them what to do. You know, I'm not overstepping my lane, so to speak. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you exactly why I think something. And if we get new information and it ends up being wrong, I'll own it. And so I think I'm able to just kind of build a level of trust with people quicker. And if you trust someone, you're going to listen to what they say, or at least give it a fair shot. So yeah, I think that would be the roundabout answer.
I got a follow question for you then. All right, so each summer or like off season, you know, whatever league somebody might be playing in, how much communication is happening between you and the client in terms of building out programming of stuff we want to attack, like this summer, like, you know, I want to get stronger in this area physically. And then secondly, is there any type of collaboration in terms of like what you do versus stuff they may be working on with their skills trainer? Like if I'm, say, Peyton, and I'm looking at what Mike G has been working on with Drew in terms of like defensive sliding and be able to just have twitch speed to like do that little 360 shit he always does. Like how much of that is then built into the programming that you do with him to make his foot sweep be faster or to build up his calf muscles or anything like that?
Like with Peyton?
Or anybody in general.
Well, that's an interesting one. So like Mike G is awesome. Salute GBG Hoop. Shout out to Mike G. Mike James obviously worked with Mike G. Like anytime they're in the same city, or he used to spend a lot more time in LA in the summers. Then he got a house out here. He has his own gym now that he trains at and stuff like that. So he's been much more local. But Mike G has been unbelievable about reaching out to me, kind of collaborating. Like if Mike would have spent some weeks in LA with him, like he'll send me the programming for the next few weeks. So like one summer I did just all his programming because he's like, all right, you've got him for 6 weeks. Like I'm not just gonna like flip the script and like restart what I'm doing. Let's have some continuity there. And that's another example of like why Mike might trust me more than maybe someone else, is because I have zero ego with that. Like it's not really about me or my program, it's about what's best for Mike. And if I can just be there as like a connection and make sure that the right like he knows what those exercises are that Mike G sent, you know what I mean? Then that's perfect right there. On like, and that's only one summer that was. As far as like the discussions and stuff like that, like depending on who it is, like with the Celtics, like we'll absolutely connect and just see like what have they been working on. Like you can see the weights and everything, like the programming that's been going through, like sets, reps, volume, the progressions and everything. So you kind of have an idea. And then sometimes novelty is good, you know what I mean? So like they oftentimes will keep it in a positive way, very like fundamental or basic with the Celtics, because you don't want to introduce novel stressors because those are more fatiguing. So it ends up being like very routine throughout the season, and then we can like throw in some like extra shit and the bells and whistles in the summer. And then it's kind of just like anyone else, man. Like I'll have conversations with different players. Like people will see stuff on Instagram like, oh, that's a cool idea. Like that's not like this, that, the same way that like maybe even we would talk about it. And for me, it's the concepts, you know what I mean? Like what are they trying to achieve here? Is this a good way for us to achieve it? Should we mess around with that if you think it looks fun, etc.? And yeah, the players are just different. So like Peyton loves to kind of talk about like, oh, like let's this is what we want to work on, X, Y, Z. This is going to be the schedule, etc. And these are the areas we're attacking. And then some guys don't care at all. Like it's just like, I trust you. Like I know that you're gonna I trust you to put the time in to really think about the shit. So I'm just gonna rock with the plan. You just tell me what to do. Sometimes I'll explain to them why we're doing it. Sometimes not. Just kind of a field thing. It's like the social, emotional intelligence, I guess, to a certain degree. Because like I am in the service business, and it is a social interaction when I'm working with guys. So like, if you hired to train me and like you want to bullshit about your life, like we can do that the whole time. If you don't want to say a word and just like suffer, we can do that too. It's up to you.
Just suffer is crazy.
And so yeah, it's very individual, I would say, at this point with a lot of those guys.
Which kind of,
if you want like clarification, any of that, sometimes I talk in circles.
No. That was straight up.
You're doing phenomenal. Actually, one of the things that kind of like came up for me with this is like, in my opinion, just like sitting with you, where I think at times, you minimize the impact that you have on your people. There's like those very like simple, easy things of like respect, meeting someone halfway. I feel like that is a lost art in the day and age of business and just working with people. So number one, please, like they are trusting for a reason, which makes me want to think, what about your programs that you are confident about? Because there's things that you're sticking by where it's kind of like, if someone hires you, like what are you like, what's like the foundation or blueprint that you are like, I am 100% by this, like we have to do this because I've tested it, I've studied it, I just know this.
Interesting. So I could go in a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
Like this is gonna be like a 10-hour, 24-hour podcast if we just like really get into the weeds of the training.
Yeah.
I think the most applicable thing I would say, first of all, I work with athletes of all ages. Like I sincerely I do stuff with the Special Olympics basketball. I've done stuff in Boston with like different cognitive.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the verbiage because I'm not gonna say disabilities because I'm with their movement there. But like I love young kids, camps, different parts of the world. I love working with everyone. But with the pros, I think this question is most applicable, so that's what I'm gonna answer for.
Yeah.
With a pro or college player, we're probably gonna look at their body and reverse engineer how they play. Like look at how they play and reverse engineer a way to keep them as healthy as possible, or at least to make sure that we're checking all the boxes with the information we currently have to keep them as healthy as possible. Because if you can't play, you can't get paid. If you're playing in Europe, unless you're at the top level, like there's guys making $500,000 a year that are on 1-year contracts every single year. And so like health really does become a priority in the NBA too. Like the entire like bonus incentive structure, you have to be available to cash those checks, qualify for those awards, etc. And then just generally the ability to be available and play basketball is the most important thing by far. So that is the number one thing that we're trying to achieve. After that, we would just look at the individual, and then that can go all the way down the rabbit hole. Like we want to see how mobile are you at certain joints based on your injury history. Is that going to predispose you to like whether it's a chronic like knee pain or back pain or ankle issue, or is that going to predispose you to potentially something more serious like a ligament or tendon rupture, and kind of checking those boxes. But I would put that in like the durability bucket. And then with the pros especially too, like all of those guys, like the guys that I work with, they're just players generally, they all have different physiological demands that are slightly different based on their style of play. You know what I mean? Like Peyton Pritchard, for example, is actually a really awesome example of that. And I think that's one thing that I really messed up with my own training back in the day, is because I grew up, as did you, like it was John Wall, Austin Rivers, like hoop mixtape, ball is life culture. And you just see people like we were just talking about with your welcome to the I'm not going to the NBA moment.
Yeah.
Playing no NBA games moment.
That's crazy.
I like that.
Oh, shit, what was I saying? It was just how fast can you run, how high can you jump, etc. And in the league or at a high level, like we need to use physical qualities to create space on the court, to create an offensive advantage, get a shot off, you name it. And I think we all just kind of got gaslit or brainwashed into thinking the way to do that was become more agile, like spark, fast, jump high. And when you look at Peyton, like no matter how much we could do plyos till we throw up every day. That would be counterintuitive, but just for the example. And he's not going to go dunk on Joel Embiid. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to be a good finish for him. But if his balance is elite, if his stability is elite, if he's really strong and understands how to use the skill of strength, almost like a wrestler would probably beat us all up, even if they're smaller than us. They know how to use the skill of strength.
Pause real quick.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for getting that offensive board. I think it was like game 6 in 2023. You won me a lot of fucking money that day, boy.
Of course, you some bullshit.
Nah, bro, to be relative to like other NBA players, to be as small as he is, he rebounds really fucking good for a guard, bro.
Okay.
And that's a great example too, man, of oftentimes he might not even be supposed to crash the board, but he's like, hey, I'm gonna get it any way that I can. Like that is one thing about his mentality is undeniable. Like he will not be denied. And so that's what they tell like so many guys. Like if they're not getting the ball to the extent that they want, like go
make a play.
So yeah, 100%. I think I actually know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So basically, from your answer, what I'm gathering is you don't believe in the process. All right. We don't agree to that.
I actually do want to follow your lead just a little bit because
I apologize for that. The process, the Joel Embiid reference. There's a kid who I love. He's one of my favorite kids I've ever trained. I'm sorry for doing this. I have to do it.
No, please.
He's from Burkina Faso, near the Ivory Coast in Africa. same kind of region as Joel Embiid, and there was a guy named Luke Mbah-a-Moute that was at UCLA back in the day. And I was so fortunate to connect with Luke Mbah-a-Moute, and he brought over Joel. And then he found Joel, basically, more or less. He found Pascal Siakam. And he's, like, spending a lot of his own money. Like, he's a player agent for CAA now, but he's, like, creating a pipeline there. And I am very much, like, a part of his team, like, extended team.
Yeah.
And so much of it, the joke was comedy, the reference. But, like, I have to now push back because, like, that's who I am. Yeah. Just because literally, like, a big part of this kid's 7'4". Yeah. And, like, I was with Luke in Vegas last weekend, and it's tough for him to walk, correctly because he's gone through so much stuff. And human beings are not meant to be that big. And so, like, a big part of his motivation even is, like, hey, with Sharif, this kid I'm working with, like, let's avoid everything that we didn't do that way with Joel. Yeah. And then even if this kid doesn't make the NBA, like, Luke obviously wants him to succeed, but he could care less if he makes it in the grand scheme of things. Let's make sure this guy has a high quality of life and it doesn't hurt him to move or get off the couch or pick up his kids when he turns 40 because he wasn't taking care of his body then. That's the type of person I am, bro. I had to say. Shout out to Luke, man.
Yeah. And I said that, I didn't mean just specifically towards Joel, but more so in terms of, like, management with athletes. Because, like, I don't know, I'm no NBA GM, but how Philly's front office handled a lot of those guys from, like, 2012 to 2016 has just left me with so many questions, but no. That's neither here nor there.
I can say the same thing about Blazers and how they've handled certain Blazers and injuries.
Why did we not let Phil Knight buy the Blazers 5 years ago, 6 years ago? Let's just from now on, if I say the word Portland, that's gonna refer to the Portland metro area. Yeah. But, like, Portland was a little bit, not actually, but just. Yeah.
We've had a conversation about that on the spot multiple times.
So many times.
But, like, we were a little bit down bad, like, right, 2018, 2020, whatever. Like, Phil's investing in, like, the Alberta Arts District, I believe. Like, so many projects. We would just give him the Blazers, bro. Like, he was going to bring everything.
See, the only thing that, like, has me. I'm gonna give you a little pushback on that.
That's okay.
Respectfully,
I haven't given that much thought to my opinion.
Yeah, respectfully, like, Phil is what PK 80 was what, like 2019.
He's too old. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 85, 86 now. The amount of energy he probably is spending day to day managing that team is probably little to none.
He's been busy with the Ducks. You know, we're trying to do something. Man.
Yeah. And also, if this were baseball and it wasn't a hard cap at all, and it's actually literally the opposite of what we're seeing now, I would love that if he could just literally just throw guys $500 million because he has the bag. But that just isn't the case, and I'm in tune with what my hometown is like. I love it; it's my home. But if
that's a great point.
Go ahead, but you've traveled a lot. I'm assuming. So if you were a 25-year-old black man from Houston, Philly, Ohio, whatever have you, coming here and you can go hours without seeing somebody that looks like you, it is difficult.
No, facts.
Just come to Northeast Portland.
Yeah.
And we're still not here.
You just gonna say that. We're gonna go Southeast Portland. We
go hang out with Jackie's.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Jackie's supposed to be a sports bar.
Bro, that's my thing. Like, all the clubs here are bar. Like, technically they're bars.
Yeah.
Like Toronto's, that's a bar.
You can't blame Jackie's though. Like,
no. And I love going to these places. It's just that, like, the experience is a little different in terms of, like, bottle service. You know, when you go out to these cities,
is there anywhere in Portland with bottle service?
Shake does.
Shake.
They always will.
It's Shake.
Respect to Angel and Tim because I fuck with them. They're doing a good job since they took over the ownership there. But I've just kind of aged out of that demographic a little bit. But it might be the only one, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
All right, to get back on track, to be great interviewers and all the things that we do. One of the things that you said, and actually with this exchange, if I'm being really honest, one of my last questions before we go on commercial break is, like, you talked about expansively working with, pros and kids. And I think one of the things too as well when it comes to like the AAU circuit, where it's kind of like, and you kind of in so many ways answer the question of like, how do we work with the youth to, you know, to be prepared to be put in those positions, where it's kind of like, if a kid is watching this, what would be like one to two, three things that they could do if they, you know, obviously couldn't get to one of your free programs, or like where could they start enhancing, improving their basketball skills?
From like a skill development standpoint,
Yeah.
I think like the answer is very simple and it's very easily said, and it is just to work on the fundamentals with a high level of intensity over and over and over and over and over again. If you want to get more athletic, go do more athletic things. If you want to get faster, go run as fast as you can. Go run sprints, go run up a hill, go run upstairs, go jump as high as you can, go try to touch the rim, go set a hoop to a height that you can dunk it maybe 7 out of 10 times and just go till you're crazy. Like try to practice different trick dunks, play different sports, expose yourself to a lot of different movement patterns and just variability at a young age. Like even if you're a kid, like that's why I love seeing so many of my friends and people I know now that are fathers. Like the nervous system is very, very sticky and malleable from like even the time they start walking until like 7 or 8, and then it remains that way until you're like a grown man basically. So like just do a lot of different things at a high level of intensity at a young age. And then like in middle school, high school, like I feel like people are always kind of looking for the secret, or like the like, oh, if I find like this exercise or like this program, or if I do these drills or this cone drill or that or whatever, like that'll be the thing. Like it's just like slightly out of reach. And it's like, no, like absolutely not. Like that's just kind of I think a symptom of the social media capitalist private sector performance trainers that are trying to show new and novel things. And in some ways it makes sense, because you don't want to show like Mike G, for example, like he's not going to show the trap bar deadlift that he's doing, or like the goblet squat he does, but not all the time. He's going to show you like the different stuff that he's doing. And so it kind of just, it's information overload for guys, and they always think like what they're doing isn't good enough oftentimes, or that like it's hard for them to take confidence in that work. But as someone that has seen some of the best in the world fortunately do it, not even like my training, but just seeing other athletes work out and their process, the basics, the fundamentals with a high level of intensity and a high level of consistency is the secret weapon. And then you just have to, obviously, like you want to play 5-on-5, you want to play 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, small-sided games for development too. But like I listed a few things. It's so simple though. It's so simple. Like by the time that you need to worry about doing some extra stuff, like you're gonna become aware of it by that point.
Word. Ready for a commercial break? All right, we'll be right back, y'all.
We're back. Glorious commercial. Glorious commercial. Don't know which one it will be, but I know one of the two is great. Meaning, I have a really quick question. Yeah, it's true. It's one of the two. It's either that. You've kind of answered this question, but I will say this. I think you kind of already figured out I'm a player follower. So 2 years ago, I said I'm going to start supporting my hometown team again. And recently, the Blazers made pick Yang Hansen.
Are you sure?
I am very sure. That is his name. I just Googled this. Wait a second.
Okay.
Yang Hansen.
Did you look up the phonetic pronunciation of it?
Please don't do that to me. If I butchered it, I apologize. In post, we will get the. I'm just curious, really quickly. You kind of answer this because he's a big man, and they're calling him. I'm not gonna say the nickname, but they're calling him a very.
That shit's crazy.
I actually haven't heard it. I promise you that.
Meaning, I'm curious because he is a big man. He's showing flashes of Jokic. If you had an opportunity to train with him, just from what you've seen and known, what would you train with him the most with at his young age?
I apologize. I have not got to watch him play enough.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, I could like BS it, but I haven't got to watch him play enough.
I would want
to see him move. I would want to at this point like talk to his coaches too. I would go through and like look at his game tape from the last few years
Yeah.
if I was going to work with him, and I would put a lot of time into it too. So I apologize for ruining that question. I'm trying to think of another player that maybe would be of interest to you.
No, it's totally fine.
Just him.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
Kind of, Yang moves a little bit smoother than me, but close enough in terms of build. He's a little shorter though, like a Zach Edey.
Oh yeah, that's actually a really good comp.
So with those guys, like oftentimes you want to start from the ground up, and really make sure that their feet are healthy, strong, moving. Their ankles are healthy, strong, moving. It's kind of just like the kinetic chain, as they say.
Yeah.
The ankle, or excuse me, like the foot specifically, and the ankle are designed for like crazy amounts of motion. You have 26, like I think it's individual joint even in the foot, like the hands obviously. The ankle is supposed to articulate with like an immense degree of freedom. Then you go up the chain, you get to the knee. That's a hinge joint, like a door. You don't want it moving around like the ankle, or something's probably in a bad spot in your knee. Then you go up one more to the hip joint, same thing. It's supposed to articulate a ton. Then you go up to the lumbar spine. Your lower spine is supposed to be stable, not move. Up again, T-spine, supposed to move, bend, twist, rotate. Cervical spine, your neck, supposed to be super duper stationary, basically, or not have a lot of movement. And so with those guys, like, you just want to make sure that because they're so tall and there's so much force being generated on every step that they're putting into the ground, all of that movement, like the landing forces of those guys, like sprinting and stuff like that, is intense, like more intense than a lot of guards at times. And oftentimes they're not the best movers, so like their movement library is just ending up in a way that they end up putting even more force at weird angles into the ground, and that can rear its head right away, or it can show up like significantly later. And so you just want to make sure that everything from the ground up is strong in the areas that it's supposed to be, moving the way that it's supposed to be. And then like with the taller guys, like even if like it was Zach Edey in high school, like there's a lot of different athletic qualities, you know, and like the bigger, faster, stronger qualities are the ones that get the most kind of notoriety or attention. But there's also like timing and rhythm and coordination and understanding the specific timings, rhythms, coordinations of basketball, which is a game that like there's many similar plays, but like each play is like there's infinite variables. Like it's just going to be a millisecond off or at a slightly different angle. Like there's so many different things that you kind of have to be able to prepare for from a movement perspective. And oftentimes big guys, like there's a lot of value in just improving their ability to like move rhythmically with good timing and coordination.
So I got a question for you, only because you do training, but then you also work with kids directly as well. Does it bother you at all, the frequency that kids are being one sport athletes now?
Yeah, I think it is nuanced. I would say my answer would be yes. There is some nuance available within that. But like it's real interesting. It's real interesting. Like I go back and forth on it. Because there's like a famous study where you look at Olympic athletes or Olympians and that they played multiple sports in high school, and like most professional athletes have played multiple sports in high school. And then you really get down, it sounds like obvious playing a lot of sports is good for you. And then you really get down to it, and then it's like, oh, is that correlation or causation? Like, did they play a lot of sports because they're a really talented athlete, so that's why they made the pros or the Olympics? Then it just makes sense that an athlete that great would play a lot of sports in high school. Or is it the flip side where playing all of those sports set them up athletically to be able to excel in one? And like there's a book called Range by David Epstein, I believe, just about like being a generalist, being more valuable almost in many fields. And then there's people that kind of go at the idea. But I would say yes, absolutely. If I was like a high school kid, I would be running track, or playing tennis is actually a great one too, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think there's a ton of value in it, and especially at a young age. I think that's when it's the very most important. Like, sign your kids up for stuff at a young age. It's going to be great for them regardless. If they hate it, like, you learn life lessons that way. You're exposed to new movement libraries that way. It's going to be really good for their nervous system, their development, their ability to create rhythm, timing, all those things I was talking about, the big dudes. And just Yeah.
And not to cut you off, the only reason why I ask is, well, two things. One, I've never seen an NBA player who played soccer that didn't have good footwork in the league. Secondly, to you, you parents, there's no way in hell you know at 8, not even you, that your child at 8 years old knows for certain this is what they want to do long term. So,
And it has to be like freely chosen by the kid. I think that's a huge thing too. Like, do you remember Nigel Williams Goss?
yeah.
So he was like, I went to Clackamas High School. Nigel went here up until 8th grade. He played
Yeah.
for I-5 Elite with like probably Mike, maybe.
Yeah, he was on 17U by the time
like,
we were
8th grade.
going into 8th grade.
Yeah. Bino was the coach of that.
Yep.
But like I knew at the time, like I used to work out with Nigel and Virgil before school at Clackamas, and Nigel chose that. And Virgil was like, hey, like if you really want to do this, it's gonna be incredibly hard. We're gonna like work like you can't believe, and like this is what it is. And he signed up for it, and at no point did he like decide he wanted to stop. And so like with Nigel and Peyton's the same way, like with his dad, like he's the one that decided that that's what he's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, if a kid really has that mindset, and that's world class, like that's not every kid, and like most parents are gonna get that call wrong.
Yeah.
So I caution saying that, but like those are two examples of a kid that I think it did work out for.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you said, Nigel was a special case because even by the time we were probably like 10 years old, 10, 11 years old, it was pretty clear like, all right,
Yeah.
worst case scenario, he's probably gonna play high level college ball
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah. But no, as a general rule, I think absolutely, kids should be playing multiple sports just because it makes you such a well-rounded athlete. And then like we can talk about the Achilles stuff. Like we're not all the way at the like. I don't think the answer is clear yet. There's a ton of variables. Multiple things could be. But there is some reason to believe that is actually contributing to the cause. I think a bigger reason would be a pre-existing calf injury or ankle injury.
Okay.
But there's evidence that could be a part of it.
Yeah.
They do like brain scans on the guys at the combine. Like there's fewer like neural connections. Like I don't know the physiology of the brain, but like there's fewer connections that are made in total. Like
I've had some back and forth with NBA players about this. The two I've spoken to have cited the pace of play in the NBA today as the reason why, which there is more movement to extent, but
it's drives to the basket. So that's the pace of play is like increased slightly as far as like possessions per game.
Yeah.
The out there, the statistic that I think has the most validity is like there's a strong correlation of drives to the basket with like ankle, knee, and whatever injuries. And so the drives to the basket are for sure up because the floor is spaced more because people are shooting. So there's long closeouts, people blowing by, and like that's happening. What was your side on that? Like you don't really think it's because of that?
Bro, it's very hard for me to believe that.
So like if you look at these injuries, like I'm struggling to think of one that there wasn't a pre-existing calf injury. You talk about KD.
Yeah.
The media gaslit potentially like Stephen A. Smith and them gaslit him into playing, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone's questioning his heart. Everyone's like, oh, he doesn't care. He's soft. This, that. Boom. There goes his Achilles. Like he really took that injury for all of. I don't even know. And maybe he would do the same thing again, like Tyrese Halliburton, for example. Like you're going into that knowing that there is a chance. Now we've seen Dame, we've seen JT, we've seen KD, we've seen all these guys, and it's happening. But like if it's me, like I'm gonna play. If you tell me like, hey, 10% chance that you win the championship, your Finals MVP, and you're fine, and 90% chance you blow it, like we'd be like, all right, like
bro, and
all money in.
Yeah, just because you referenced him, I'm a Celtics fan. I really hate that happened because literally the minute Jalen threw that pass, I could see the play happening.
I almost didn't believe it.
Yeah, but ironically enough, I think people around sports circles are gonna appreciate his game a lot more with him being out this year. He gets disrespected a lot.
We'll see. Yeah, he does get unbelievable disrespect.
I think the disrespect will grow if I'm being honest with you.
So does Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
I think for at least for us, like I think sometimes we take for granted the talent that we have.
I think the only reason why I think he'll get a little more respect on his name is because he covers so much shit for us that doesn't like get talked about enough. Just because he could go out there and average 30 if he really felt like it to the detriment of our team. Hopefully we are able to just stabilize the ship, but we do have a lot of missing pieces from the title team now.
Yeah.
So.
Brad's gonna get it done, man. I would not be stressing at all if I'm a Celtics fan.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've
And I am a Celtics fan.
Okay.
Right now.
yeah.
If Peyton were to get traded, I'm no longer a Celtics fan, to be honest.
Hey.
It's all love, but Doyle is a huge Celtics fan.
He is. That's my guy. Yeah.
I
He a
just
Cowboy.
give him
He a Cowboys
all
fan
this-
too. So
the
we
Celtics
locked in
merch
for
like,
life.
yeah.
I guess one of the things I kind of want to bring us to is one of the things that you kind of alluded to and kind of talked about is, you know, you have this big heart nonprofit, but one of the things really caught my eye, it kind of like really like encompasses all the things that you do is, you know, you have this app with Robin Hoop.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you. I said I wanted to plug this, so I appreciate you bringing that up, man. So it's basically just a nonprofit I started. It's called Robin Hoops. That's a nod to like the Robin Hood story, where Robin Hood would steal from the rich and give to the poor. And we're not trying to steal from anyone. In our analogy, that would be just redistributing knowledge. Like, I'm gonna my plan is to kind of use my network, my skill set, myself as a person, and just try to leverage as best I can as much knowledge, so like stuff from other coaches, trainers, players, etc., and put it on that platform. It's available now. It's called Robin Hoops in the App Store. We only have there's a body weight program on there, and then there's one of my programs which you need access to like a complete gym equipment for.
Yeah.
But over the next few months, like that's when we had to start it soon because we have kids on there that are using it for free in different parts of the country, and so I want it out now.
Yeah, I was peeping that.
Yeah.
That was like a really dope piece to it. Why, you know, I want you to go, but why was it important for the kids to have it free right now while all the extra things I know that are coming with it?
So that's a really complicated story, actually, or not complicated, but just kind of muddled. So the mission of the nonprofit generally is I want to basically create as much equality of opportunity for sports or performance or like athletic training stuff for kids, whether that's a geographic barrier, like they live in the middle of nowhere, like a village in Alaska, for example, or like a reservation that's bigger than Delaware and Rhode Island in the middle of South Dakota, or whether it's like a financial or economic barrier. The goal is to kind of use tech to scale that information and get it in the hands of as many people as possible. Because like I said, I think the plan or the process is really difficult, but it's really simple. And if we can bring people knowledge from different people, it creates buy-in from them. Like, you can argue if that's necessary or not. I don't really care. I'm more concerned with what's true and what works. And then that's a holistic mission. Like, we're running events all over the country. I just started, so like I'm getting way ahead of myself with this, but I'm not gonna stop, so it's all super applicable. But we run in-person events all over the country, and then the app is really just a financial fundraising vehicle for us to continue that work. And they kind of play off of each other. And so like for every kid that we ever work with or is in our program, the app is free for life. And there'll be programs from like NBA player development guys, like whether it's just like a signature move from a player or like an entire program from a coach that wants to donate. And then 100% of the profit that we get for that is going to go back into funding our mission, basically making the app better, making our in-person events better, and just really try to like provide at least a chance, or at least like bring them into the field of competition or the talent pool where maybe they would not have participated otherwise. And then if I can get on my soapbox real quick, once again, it's something that's kind of corny and like within people that like love sports, but the connection aspect of sports, just connecting kids and people to life is unbelievable. Like we take most of the friends that I have in my life, my fiance, like I don't know who in my life I didn't meet because of sports. I'm sitting here, I met you guys because of sports. I had met him like before, apparently, like I think because of sports. And we take that for granted oftentimes. There are statistics on like disconnected youth, which would be anyone from ages like 15 to 21 that's not employed or currently in school. Depending on the political lens you want to view it from, like I can make a financial case of why us getting them reconnected and sports are a great vehicle for that. There's empirical research and studies that prove that. If we can reconnect them, we're going to spend less on them on social programs, if that's something you're considered about. If you're worried about paying for kids that are incarcerated, or like the amounts that we're paying private prisons, unfortunately, in the United States of America, this is another opportunity. And like there's so much you know what, man, I know you guys don't mind, but like it's I also don't really like getting political, but this has been like an unbelievable way for me to kind of express some of the beliefs that I have just inherently about the way that the world should be. And yeah, like it doesn't make sense to me the amount of stuff that and resources we're allocating to fix a problem that's already happened. Like my idea of changing the world would be to start before the problem exists, and if we can like redirect kids into being involved with sports, make friends that way, like youth suicide is going to go down, incarceration rates are going to go down, drug and alcohol abuse is going to go down. I can't think of a lot of like negative KPIs that we like associate with kids that are going to go up. And so like I'm a little bit of a hippie kind of, and I'm just designing like the life that I want. And like when I look at like what I want my contribution to be to the world, that's a need that I think needs to be filled. And I had people do that for me. I have a karmic debt to the world and to the game of basketball to do the same thing for other people. And that's really the genesis of it. Like I'm going to get better at my elevator pitch. We're going to get more refined with the mission as we go on, you know what I mean? Because it is very expansive, and there's a lot of words, and I have to get better at presenting that as someone that's going to be advocating for more and more and more money. But yeah, man, that's really it. And to answer your initial question, I appreciate you letting me just ramble, bro.
No.
But the reason we need kids on it now is because we're partnering with universities and basically just trying to get like academic validity to our holistic wellness survey that we put these kids through. To be fair, it is subjective, but like holistically, it's all subjective markers of different areas of your life, from suicidal ideations to like being overweight and diabetes to happiness to hope to opportunity that you feel, all of these things. And if we can prove that through the scientific method and the university system of academia in America, we are having a positive effect on kids holistically, it's going to unlock a whole host of kind of institutional funding, whether that be just like government grants, family foundations, private businesses, philanthropists, you name it.
Well, I'll say this, bro. Preventative wellness care shouldn't be a hard buy-in, so kudos to you for everything you're doing. Just to like wrap that up a little bit. So, you know, I don't have the means, I won't say who, but there's somebody on our staff that kind of is like Daddy Warbucks that probably could make some contributions. But if somebody were to want to make a donation, how can they go about that?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So we do have right now, if you want to just sign up for the app, right now we're charging $39 a month. 100% of the proceeds is going into the Robin Hoops mission. If you want to pay for that, I would appreciate the support tremendously. My entire 8-week program is already on there. We have a bodyweight program that's already on there. The link to that is in the App Store. I'm a genius, and I named the app Robin Hoops, which is very similar to Robinhood, which is an investment equities trading app. So make sure it's not saying, did you mean to type, in the top left corner. It's also in the link on my bio on Instagram at bouncebybrian, or the Robin Hoops account at robinhoopsapp. If you're interested in making a larger donation, I appreciate you, man. I know you're paying that forward. I know he's talking about you with the Daddy Warbucks. You can just reach out to me directly.
You got 3 trips planned.
We are a 501c3, so if you need any of the tax-deductible giving information, please email me at bouncebybrian@gmail.com. That's Brian with an I, and I will get you all sorted out. And then beyond that, there's just the app. We have like an additional tier. We can pay $100 a month if you really want to support the mission. But even if you want to just show a little bit of love, just go follow the Instagram page at robinhoopsapp. We're brand new in the process here, like just kind of figuring it out as we go. But this is my like magnum opus, as they say, in life. Like this is really something I'm looking to build over the long term. As a continued side hustle, but something that I transition when I want to stop teaching high school kids to squat.
speaking of hustle, I love the vision, everything you're doing right now. Shout out Nipsey and Isaiah Thomas. Be proud to pay and make some contributions. No matter who that may be.
My cat's name is Hustle, Hussle.
That's fire. That's fire. That's fire.
Yeah. Yeah, donate. Thank you, man.
Don't leave my dog hanging.
I
do have a question about it ties in with training, but it's kind of life related as well. So, gonna put Rob through an 8-week program, right? How much conversations are you having around like hydration and like diet outside of the stuff you're doing in terms of like strength and conditioning? Just because, you can work out till you pass out, but if you're just gorging yourself in
Wendy's,
processed food, sweets, so forth and so forth, it's like almost counterproductive.
Once again, I think it's individual, to be honest, because like I think I have a decent level of emotional intelligence where I can read like, do I have a chance of reaching you? Like, are you gonna listen to what I say? Are you interested at all? Are you maybe gonna fire me if I bring this up too much around you? Like, I'm just like harassing you about it all the time, trying to ruin your life, and that's how it makes you feel. So we always talk about that stuff a lot, but like we're really focused on the big rocks, and the big rocks would mostly be just kind of sleep is number one. With the nutrition, hydration stuff, like if we can eliminate drinking sugar, that's like if we can eliminate the bullshit, we're in a great spot.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like we could talk about micronutrients, running blood panels on guys, like figuring out exactly like what you are deficient in, like all of these things. Let's just cover the big rocks first, and you would be very surprised at the changes that you're going to see physically and how you feel as well too. If guys ask for that information, like we will absolutely talk about it at length. Depending to the level that they really are interested in it, I will absolutely outsource that to a nutritionist and someone that really studies it, because nutrition, like there's still nutritionists that argue about stuff, like the top in the world, and they're still arguing about stuff. So at that level, I'll outsource it, but it's really just about kind of the big rocks. And then another thing, man, like I like to try to trick people sometimes, especially the younger kids. Like I'll just tell them like the way that I see them, like you're not someone that does this or you're not someone that does that. Just make a bunch of like affirmation statements about habits that I want them to have. Like if I know that they're gonna go to a party that night and like go drink or smoke or whatever, like I'm just gonna try to get in their head and like guilt trip them or make them think that I'm like viewing them in an entirely different way, because I know that they're focused on XYZ, and like that is the kind of person that I know that you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you say something like that to people long enough, they're gonna start to believe it themselves. The same way that like if you're just listening to someone put you down all the time and say what you're not capable of, what you're not, you're gonna start to believe that over time too.
Sometimes you gotta speak life into people. Like if you tell them like they're wealthy, eventually the universe will find its way to their pockets.
Sizable donation,
exactly.
Tax-free donation to.
Well, I see how you spun that.
It's a beautiful house.
Whoa, this is a studio.
You got this insulated?
Two-story home.
Whoa.
I'm in an apartment.
We're definitely not in that. But we're in a place. That's not what they're talking about. Meaning, stop this. Anywho, interesting that we've got back to this place. So I'm just gonna get us out of here. I think one of the things I do want to say, 'cause I do want to double back really quick, because I don't want to miss out on this point, is like when you were talking about the Robin Hoops aspect portion, and with the donations and with what Tay was just saying, where it's kind of like there are a lot of things that us as adults that we need to do better. And what I mean do better is like give our kids opportunities. 'Cause I think about like Trap Kitchen and how they're having night sport, where it's kind of like this is a wonderful, glorious opportunity. And even though that you say you have to work on your pitch, I guess the technical numbers things aspects, but like I think your passion, like, because I feel that, and I just want to make sure that we just put a stamp on that, because I think that's what really moves a lot of the needles, a lot of stuff for like, do you care about this? Because there's gonna be a lot of roadblocks with that. So And in so many ways, I feel like you're gonna answer my final question is because I was gonna be like, it's Bounce by Brian. I was like, well, either be, managed sports agency by Brian, but I don't think that's gonna be the case because I feel like you're gonna be elsewhere.
The bounce by Brian is like iconic. I'll probably I still kind of cringe at myself. Like I almost as a joke on the intro like introduce myself that way. People people that I don't know well know me as that just because most people have know people they don't know that well through social media. Damon Erickson and Jack Dorn are two kids I coached at Clackamas High School, and they just started, like, we were training, and they just started dunking and, like, windmilling and doing different things, and they were the ones saying Bounce by Brian. I'm like, oh, man, like, that alliteration is catchy. Like, I'm going to go ahead and take that. I appreciate it. And when Bounce by Brian becomes $1 million brand, I'll cut them a check, But until then. And then just last thing, like, all jokes aside about the fundraising for that app, if you do want to contribute and you are not someone that is extremely wealthy, a subscription would be the most I can ask for. Specifically, I don't really want to take money from people that are just trying to get by or have a family to support and could be in any way stressed about finances. That's kind of like literally the idea, is to take that burden off of people. Like, we're just trying to scale it, prove it works, proof of concept, and then we're going after the big dollars, institutional support, private donor money. Like, there's a lot of that out there right now. I think more is going to become available, kind of just with the social climate in the country, and just man, capitalism in America in 2025. I think we got to just kind of take care of each other, you know what I mean? And
lead by example, so in so many ways. But
all right, so I got one last question regarding the interview, and then we're gonna play one final game with you. For someone who isn't Brian McGill that wants to jump into this space, what words of advice, even though they would be your competitors, technically, but
there's enough money for everybody.
Yeah, but what words of advice would you give somebody who, like, I'm done playing college basketball and I want to either get into the skills training or fitness training like realm? Would you tell them to get prepared for?
So if you want to work in the private sector, you technically don't need a college degree.
Yeah.
I would go.
Oh no, I mean more so like, say I played at Monoma Bible College.
So if you're going to college already, I was gonna tell anyone to, like, first, if you want to, if you're not even playing though, you have to go to college to work in the NCAA and the NBA. Mm-hmm. Typically, you need a master's. Exceptions are sometimes made. Okay. If you are in college and you have the opportunity to major in exercise science, kinesiology, any of, like, those associated fields, I would absolutely do that. If you don't, that's no big deal. It's not going to be a barrier to entry or anything like that. But you're going to have to spend time, like, really familiarizing yourself with a lot of those concepts. So yeah, the education part, I think, is huge. I think finding it's easier said than done, man. But finding a mentor, I think, is everything. I was really blessed, man, with the mentor that I had, and his name is Henry Barrera. He completely changed my life. That's the reason that I want to do any of this stuff in the first place, is because he, like, believed in me before I believed in myself, and just saw a kid that was hungry and would show up, and just invested in me. And I would try to pay him at times. Like, I probably paid him for about 90 or 10% of the time that he ever spent with me. And I just got really, really fortunate, man. So I can't tell someone else, like, just, I would say go try to find a mentor. Sometimes that's easier said than done. Guys are busy. It's tough. But I was privileged in a sense that I just got really lucky about where I was living and the people that I, like, just ended up crossing paths with. So find a mentor. If you're a player, I think that's if you want to work with basketball athletes in particular, that's a huge advantage, huge advantage, because so many people coming from this space are from, like, the football background, which is a lot of the strength coaching or strength coaches out there. Yeah, learn as much as you can, and then I would just start like you can start working with kids too. Like if you have a little brother or a neighbor that's out there and wants to train, like just start working on training people. Make sure you like it too, because just because you like working out, just because you like playing sports, it does not mean like this is a very service oriented business, and it is about the people that you're serving, and your job is to make sure that everything is right for them. It's not you. If you're at all motivated by clout or just like proximity to fame or like any of those things, like NBA players are geniuses and they will like smell that on you in a second and you're not going to get anywhere. And I would just approach it the same way that you would approach any other endeavor in broadcasting or anything else. Like you just got to get it how you live and hustle and just do everything that you can. Try to connect with mentors, reach out for advice. If you're financially able, like invest in courses, continuing to ed stuff, and then put your methods into practice with clients that'll work with you for free. And by the time you can kind of build yourself up, if you want to go in the private sector though and you're a former player, absolutely go be a GA at a university. I would go whether it's an internship and then you become a graduate assistant. Like it's very easy if you want to be in the NCAA system to network jobs just from like school to school. I think my advice would kind of differ depending on if you want to go work for teams or if you want to do like what I'm doing and work for yourself.
Right. Well, can I go on the shot clock with him?
Yes, you can.
All right, bro.
The shot clock?
Yeah. So, I'm going to take this.
No.
Good hands. All right, so we're going to just go through a couple rapid fire questions. You're going to give me a couple rapid fire answers. So, for example, if I ask you your favorite color, red or blue, you're going to answer and say
blue.
Okay, so you know how to play. All right, ready? Get started?
Trick now?
No.
Blue's my favorite color, you know.
No. All right.
It's probably red, actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Let's get started. Nothing sports related. Favorite like pastime or hobby?
Favorite of all time? Can I give you a new one? I just started playing chess, man. I'm going crazy on chess. I play chess like kids play Fortnite today.
Damn.
I'm just going insane on chess. Like I'm starting to learn some of the strategy and the moves and stuff like that, and the progressions. Like I'm never gonna be good at it just because like the level of intellect required is so tremendous that it's insane, man. Like you gotta be a supercomputer mentally. But I'm loving playing chess, and I think I hate to be that guy, man, but there's like applications to life. For example, like even just this morning, I checkmated someone with a pawn, which is the weakest player on the board. It's just an example. It doesn't necessarily matter if you're a king, a queen, the most powerful, a knight, a bishop. Your position and how you maneuver your piece on the board is what gives it its power and its advantage, and helps you slow your mind down. It helps you you can connect it to situations in life and how to be strategic in not in a negative way, but manipulate things to your advantage.
Yep.
That it's a new pastime, but I'm going chess.
Definitely.
Okay.
All right, best era of the NBA.
Ooh, early 2000s. Objectively. Maybe not objectively, but early 2000s. I'm going like Kobe era, Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, Shaq, 3P era. They all were wearing their own NBA, their own jerseys at the
All-Star game.
At the All-Star game, like before the NBA. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, that's fire. I'm gonna get my Quentin Richardson bag right now. Go back to high school. Person that cooked you the worst
in high school.
Yeah.
So that's funny, actually. So that's it. I'm not gonna say it was Andrews, because it wasn't. But it was that Benson team. I averaged like 25 or something that year, and I had 8 points that game. And my mentor, the guy I was talking about, hit me up the next day. He's like, "Hey, like, let's go to the gym. Like, I know you're probably crying right now." But it was a guy named Nate Carter.
I was going to say Nate.
Who actually ended up being a teammate of mine. I went to Western Oregon my freshman year. I don't think I mentioned that. But, like, I love Nate. And he never even would ever bring it up, too. And I played against him in practice every day. I got so much better. Man, a kid named Jordan Freelander, too, that went to Central Catholic, was a dog defensively. And then the other guy was Frank Norman. But do you remember him?
Yeah.
That would be their press, bro. It was just like... it was like we were talking about, like throwback to the AAU thing. I wasn't getting ripped like that, but they cooked me, at least defensively, bro. It was rough.
I might say that.
And Drew was going crazy, but it was kind of had nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I was just in jail, and he's just up and down, running around, like just dunking in.
I'm gonna have to tell Frank later about this.
Yeah, he might not even remember me, bro. It was probably so regular to him. Like if he didn't like realize that I actually ended up being like, I mean, I was like an all league D2 player, 1,000 point. Like I ended up being like solid. So yeah, bro, he might have no idea.
That's crazy. All right, top 5 all time in the NBA.
Oh, so Kobe won, but I'm not gonna argue that with anyone. Like I'll say, my top 5 would be Kobe, Jordan, LeBron at 3. I'll accept anyone's top 5 as Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, but those are the top 3 for me. Man, I've spent a lot of time on my top 3. Top 5 all time. Man, I hate to say it. I really think, oh man, that's a tough one, man. I might get flamed for this. I'm putting Shaquille O'Neal in my top 5 of all time. I'm putting Shaquille O'Neal in my top 5 of all time.
Birdman.
I wouldn't kill you for it though.
No.
5. It might be. It's like it's such a tie. There's so many guys that I could just rotate into that spot. What's your top 5? Or am I on the shot clock?
No, I mean you are, but all right, now I'll give you mine right now.
That's like a controversial opinion. I think Shaq is vastly underrated historically.
Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, Kobe, and then it's like a toss-up between Bird and Magic.
I was gonna say Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Magic Johnson at 5.
Yeah, his career, just like making 9 finals in like 13 years, is crazy.
And then it's like, what is like, yeah. And then you can get into metrics too, like how are we determining this? Is it based off their career? Is it like who was the coldest human being of all time at one moment in time? Like that was the best basketball player that ever existed.
And see, that's why my top 3 personally is the way it is, because all 3 guys, even though like stylistically I'm much more of a Kobe guy than I am LeBron, I can make an argument for Jordan, LeBron, and Kareem. They were definitively the best player in the world for about 8 straight years.
And then are we punishing guys depending on era? Because the purpose of era, like we're supposed to evolve. That is the point. We're supposed to improve. And like, are we gonna penalize Kareem because maybe? And this isn't fact, but someone's better now. But like, he's a part of that.
Yeah.
No, I like how you actually frame that. That kind of makes me, we're penalizing people because of error.
I feel like great players that be great in any era for the most part. Because like even like somebody like, I know people talk about like Will Chamberlain, like always playing against Milkman. He was also 7'1", training with the Olympic 100 teams.
Yeah. No, he was I think his
he's a glitch.
Yeah. People don't really realize that. I'm gonna go Magic. Okay. I'm gonna go Magic. Like, and I understand like people make an argument for Tim Duncan over Shaq. Like, there's so many, but I honestly think, bro, like, and maybe it's just biased because I grew up watching the Lakers three-peat, but like the impact that he had on a game, the way he dominated a game, we've never seen anything like that. Like, in my opinion, like he was the Finals MVP on all 3 of those championships.
Yeah.
Like he was averaging
33, 14, 3 blocks.
Oh
Yeah. All right. You had let's just say, less than pleasant day. I'm not going to say with any particular athlete, working them out that day. If I ask your fiance, what's the one thing you're going to do to like decompress?
I'll talk to her, to be honest. Like, it might come across as like venting or whatever, but I think like to a degree that can be healthy at times. Yeah, me and my girl are like best friends, so like I can really kind of talk about everything, and she also kind of knows my strengths and weaknesses as far as personality goes, and like some things maybe I get fired up about a little bit too quickly or too easily, and she can kind of check me on that or make me reevaluate it. But yeah, I would say just kind of talking through it, or working out too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it becomes a difficult outlet because I'm like in the gym so much.
And it's so
training
much, yeah.
that it's just you kind of lose that like energy to really attack it yourself, and then it's like, what am I really doing here? Because I feel like I'm going through the motions, and you just play tricks on yourself mentally. But that'd probably be it.
All right, last one for you. So Peyton rolls his ankle. I'm Brad Stevens. Call you. Say I got a 10-day for you.
For me.
Yeah. I give you 20 minutes that night to play. I hit up Joe, like, hey, bro, we got to let this rock.
Mm-hmm.
How many points do you realistically...
Can we turn my conditioning sliders off?
Yeah. However you...
Okay.
How many realistically? How many points?
points?
Do you think you can score in the NBA game if I give you 20 minutes to take?
I think they're going to probably put me in a pick and roll on every possession defensively.
For sure.
And then it's going to be what kind of help am I getting, or like how quickly am I going to have to foul that guy? And then from that point, like, is it going to be every possession? So like I got 6 trips up and down the court till I'm fouled out.
Damn, this is hard.
Or like, do I get? I'll give you real answers.
Damn.
I'd say there's a 50% chance that I score 3 points.
Real. I love how honest he is.
Because they're probably going to leave me in the corner somewhere too. And like, I'm going to let it go when I get the ball, and I'm going to give myself 50% chance. I'll probably get multiple attempts is where I'm getting the 50% from.
Mm-hmm.
I shot, and I can't, we'll see, man.
We got equal opportunity offense.
Yeah.
So I mean, shit, you might get. You never know.
But we don't. Like, because they're good at self. Yeah. Are we playing it like we're doing a psyop where like none of these guys know that I'm the oddball out?
No.
I'm
just
a part of the offense.
Yeah,
They're just gonna play with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say 50% chance, 3 to 6. I mean, maybe 50% chance I get 6. Like 20 minutes though. I'm trying to think how many shots does Peyton get up in 20 minutes.
The self-awareness is real though.
Hey,
self-awareness is a superpower, and that's why people, I think, trust me, because I'm not gonna bullshit some stuff. Like, I was first team All-State in high school. Not that anyone gives a shit. Like, I was a 3-time All-League player in the D2 league, the GNAC. Like, I have a lot of records in there with like assists and free throw percentage, just random stuff, because I'm not that good. So my self-awareness is gonna be dialed in. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, that would be fun though. That would be. You know what I would actually love though? I would love to see what I could do defensively in the league. That would be really interesting to me, because I think I would.
A long night.
Yeah, and like ultimately in the league, bro, you can't guard them. No. They're gonna make the shot or miss the shot, and you can affect it in different ways. Like it's goes over the course of a game. It's not individual plays. You can frustrate guys. You're gonna get but they're unguardable, bro. That's another misnomer.
Real. Yeah, that's all I got though.
I appreciate that answer. Very humble guy.
But who knows? You might have an Andre Ingram moment and just go for, what do you have, like 20?
Because like that. Because I feel like it's gonna be one of those things. Like if we step foot, my first ever college game was for Western Oregon at Portland State, and I shot a corner 3. I caught the ball. I could not feel my body. I was having an out-of-body experience. I let it go from the corner. It somehow went in. I couldn't have told you if it was going to go 10 feet over the rim or 10 feet short, but the ball went in. And, like, I'm assuming it's going to be the same kind of feeling in the NBA. Like, it's your nervous system. Your brain is communicating to your body at just such a crazy rate that your body doesn't know what's going on, and it overtakes your motor control system, and you're looking like shit out there. So if I get lucky, like, you know how it goes. Like, you might knock a couple down.
Yeah, on that J.R. Smith regimen, get some Henny in there.
NBA 3 low-key is far, too, if you're not shooting it
bro,
on a regular basis. You
yes.
got to be adjusted to that, or you might throw up some breaks at the start.
Well, you know what wasn't a break? This episode. It was a smooth layup right down the lane.
For sure.
Meaning, I want to say thank you so much for taking your time, energy, and effort. We know definitely during the summer you are very busy, so we definitely appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come sit down with us.
Absolutely, man. It was my pleasure. I was listening to you guys a little bit before the show. I like this style of conversation. I think especially a lot of the basketball stuff, like, you guys have pretty nuanced opinions too, and I was enjoying listening to it, to be honest. Like, no, dead ass. Like, it was a good listen, and yeah, you did a great job. I think I tried to do a podcast one time. We did one episode with a kid named Ben Gregg, and like I think you guys do a much better job than I did.
You know, I don't
appreciate that.
You know,
I enjoy it as a fan. I'm gonna continue watching the future episodes, and I would recommend that everyone else do the same. They'll probably be better than this one.
You know, I'm just gonna say this. You know, I'm a 4-time, you know, league champion fantasy basketball, so I know a few things about a few things. You know.
What league is this?
My league.
Who else is
10
in there?
people. All I know is
How many people have this shit on auto?
not many. RJ, am I the
Fantasy
king?
basketball.
Yes.
I feel like that's one of those ones. Yeah, like if you actually are looking at your roster every day, you're just gonna win because so many people tune it out. It's not NFL.
No.
It's
We got-
not
bro.
what
It's
you want.
82, and that's the main reason why I can never do it. It's
And-
too many fucking games, bro.
So y'all can enjoy fantasy football. Hey, I'm not knocking on that, but all I'll say is, you know, the real ones, we're locked in for 82 games.
Can I ask, how do you randomly just have time at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday with life
Have y'all
happening?
ever seen the league? That's the people in my league. We are serious about this. There are arguments about this. There's money involved.
So are you cutting your sessions short to go like adjust your rosters?
I think this is where we end the episode.
So you
Meaning- this has been a fantastic episode. I'm not answering that question.
What question?
I don't know what he's talking about. Meaning,
if you
if
like,
I have a son, never mind. I'm not even going that far. Anyway,
shit. Okay. Boy, you better knock on wood.
Where were you gonna go?
I would love to draft him. You know, if he ever went that far. Anyway, my league will be with me until I die.
You would love to draft your son to your fantasy team?
You're damn right. I
Hey,
would.
bro, what? What about the part where he like makes the NBA and all
Yeah.
that?
Oh, that's
like
great.
you're
Yeah.
retired now, probably. Like
Yeah,
you're not happy for your
fuck our
kids.
family being
Like,
cool for life.
I would have.
As long as I can win this $500 pie, that's all that
Bro,
matters.
you're kind of giving the vibe you wouldn't draft him or you would trade him if he wasn't contributing.
Let me tell you. Actually, I'm not gonna say anything about Malik Beasley. But anyway, at the end of this, at the end of this podcast, if you like what we're doing, like, comment, subscribe.
All right, we'll see y'all next week, y'all.